Leva Tejada. He's doing project number 5, which is Your Body Speaks. Yes, project number 5 is Your Body Speaks from the basic manual. It's 5 to 7 minutes. The objectives are use stance, movement, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact to express your message and achieve your speech's purpose. Make your body language smooth and natural. Oh, I'm sure that Richard is going to give that to us. The title of his speech is Under My Skin. Please welcome Richard Leva Tejada.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good morning.
Good morning.
I am going to start with a little story that my son wrote for me. When I was little, my dad used to take me to visit his family, and I would be so embarrassed that I would jerk away and push people when they tried to hug me. And then my dad would say, Alex, you have to hug kids and shake hands. I was so embarrassed. I am the father in that story, and I didn't understand my son at that time. I used to wonder, why is my son so embarrassed to shake hands and say hello to my family? But I should have understood him, because I grew up with many insecurities and fears and afraid of introducing myself to people. Today I will tell you about how I struggled growing up with some of those insecurities and fears, and how learning more about myself is helping me be a better person and a better father. I came to this country in 1994, and I was 14 years old. I came to the Dominican Republic, and I started high school in the 10th grade. High school was a very difficult part of my life for me. I was afraid of introducing myself to people. My English was very bad. I had a very strong accent, and people didn't understand what I was saying. So I was afraid that they were going to make fun of me when I spoke. I remember that I was so self-conscious that when I walked the hallways in the school, I was afraid to walk. I thought everybody was going to look at me. And even though I was walking fine, I felt that my mind told me, oh my God, your hands are out of control. Your hands my hands felt like spaghetti. I thought, oh my God, I gotta put my hands in my pocket so people can see how stupid they look. And I felt, in a place so crowded, I felt so alone. And I didn't want to pass. I was afraid as a father that I was going to pass those insecurities to my kids. And I remember that when they were growing up and I saw signs that they were afraid of or insecure, I pushed them. And sometimes I pushed them too hard. I literally pushed my son into the pool one time. So he learned how to swim. That didn't work very well. He was flailing in the water. He was drowning. Ah! So I had to take him out. And 5 years after that, he didn't go in the water for 5 years. I had so many problems that I used to think, my God, I can't be normal. This is not normal. I gotta be crazy. There's something wrong with me. So I used to go to the mirror at my house. I used to look at myself and look for signs that I'm crazy. And I tell you, I found signs. I used to say, oh my God, it's your eyes. You got crazy eyes. They move too quickly from people to people. I had trouble making eye contact when I had conversations. So I thought, oh my God, how are you supposed to make eye contact? How long do you stare at people when you speak? Should you move away to their forehead or to the side? And I used to say, you know what? People look at my crazy eyes and they run away from me. That's why I can't make friends. About a year ago, I read a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, I identified the areas of my life that I could change, that I have control over, that will make me a better person, live happier. And at the top was being a better parent and controlling my insecurities. But I knew that if I couldn't control my fears and insecurities, I couldn't be the parent I wanted to be. Because I wanted to inspire my kids. And I couldn't do that because I didn't feel very inspiring, like an inspiring person. So I found Toastmasters. And through the lessons that I'm learning here, I'm gaining more confidence. I am finding my voice. The words that I didn't have to make myself understood, I am finding them now. I also read a book recently called Quiet, The Power of Introverts. And through that book, I now understand that those insecurities and those fears, those are normal things. We are built like this. But we are like rubber bands. We may feel comfortable at this point. What to me, this point is being at home reading a book. I love to read. But we can learn to stretch ourselves like a rubber band. We can learn to become more comfortable by slowly exposing ourselves to the things we fear the most, like public speaking. But it is okay to also come back to this point where you feel comfortable. I don't feel guilty anymore when I, after work or after, a social event like a bar, I want to just run home and sit down and read a book. I don't feel guilty about that. I used to feel guilty. I said, oh God, I'm crazy. I am addicted to reading. So now I want to leave you with a quote from a 1997 ad from Apple. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things different. You can praise them, disagree with them, quote them, disbelieve them. About the only thing you can do is ignore them because they change things. They invent, they imagine, they heal, they explore, they create, they inspire. They push the human race forward. Maybe they have to be crazy because the crazy people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Madam Toastmaster.